East Riddlesden Hall is a National Trust property in West Yorkshire and was most famously used as a filming location for the 1992 and 2009 film adaptations of Emily Bronte's Wuthering Heights. The gardens at East Riddlesden were designed by Graham Stuart Thomas in the 1970s, with herbaceous plantings incorporated into the borders to provide interest year-round, even at the start of spring. I spoke to the senior gardener Ben Cooper about the garden history, its famous herbaceous borders, and the plants that are thriving this spring.
This time of year we've got all the spring bulbs up, so we've got lots of leucogiums, nice little dots of white through there. In the wild garden we've got a really nice succession of bulbs, so we've got nice snake's head fritillaries, got lots of those up at the moment. Lots of daffodils through there. One particular favourite of mine is the thalia daffodil. So this is the wild garden. It's a central lime tree in the middle. We've got 4 semicircular beds around the edge and got a really nice succession of bulbs. So lots of different daffodils. In front of that you've got the snake's head fritillaries and a few slightly more unusual things. We've got some wild tulips, we've got muscari. Hellebores have done particularly well this year. They seem to have been in flower for weeks and weeks. So we have a nice patch of hellebores there and tucked away at the back in the shadier parts where they seem to cope very well and be quite happy. We're just coming through here, look, we've got the Camasias. We've got lots of these in 2 areas of the garden, here in Molly's garden and the wild garden. And I think they're just a really nice bulb. They seem to really like it here. They'll take the rain like this and damp conditions, but it's a really nice display. It's just beginning now, so by the end of April that'll be absolutely a sea of blue in here and in the wild garden, and they're one of my favourite bulbs.
Also thriving at this time of year were the plants in the garden's small herb garden.
So this is the herb border, so it's a double border, mixed herbs on either side, and the idea is it was taken from Culpeper's Herbal, so it's featuring herbs that they may have used at the time that the house was built. So a few of the more sort of rarer herbs, we've got valerian, we've got angelica that's just coming out. You can often get these 2 metres high and quite impressive. We have bistort in here, we've got some marjoram, we have mugwort, we have lots of soapwort, which if you get that it does spread, so watch out. But it's quite an interesting plant because it does actually produce a lather like soap when you rub it or put it in water. A few more typical things, we've got catmint, more of your culinary herbs this side, so we've got mint, rosemary, oregano, we've got lots of fennel, bronze and normal, and on either side we've got again fruit trees espaliered against the wall, pears out in full blossom now. Hopefully we'll get some fruit if the weather's kind. We've got a nice L-shaped herbaceous border here. This is the most formal area of the garden. The design of the garden, this huge holly hedge behind you encloses it, so it's quite a nice microclimate. We don't lose a great deal to frost. Sometimes it's very wet, as you can see, like today, but we tend to, most things are fairly hardy, or we are able to keep most things alive through the winter, despite being up in Keighley. So these are the main herbaceous borders. It's a double border in an L shape. As you can see, we've got some erythroniums coming through. These are called pagoda, nice yellow, kind of exotic looking bulbs, and we've got quite a lot of those along the edges. These are another one of our favourite bulbs. Again, I think an underused bulb, leucogiums, so spring snowflakes. They seem to be very happy in the damp ground, and look, they'll flower for a long time. So although this isn't in flower at the moment, we've got one of the biggest clematis I've ever worked on or had in a garden. It can go as what, 30 or 40 feet up into a cherry tree. So we get the white blossom of the cherry, and as that fades, the clematis comes out, and it's like a waterfall of flowers. We've got a new section called the Wellbeing Garden, and we raised some money with Dementia Friends of Keighley, and they trained our staff to become dementia aware, and so we've got a nice peaceful garden through there. So those bits were added after this formal area. It's under the canopy of trees, it's quite a shaded garden, and it's a nice tranquil area, lots of ferns, lots of hostas, things like that. So it's lush green foliage, slightly Japanese in its feel, with a water feature, so we've got a pond with trickling water. So we try to follow greener gardening principles, so we don't use any chemicals in the gardens. We compost absolutely everything that we can. So we do shred material so it composts quicker. And we don't use any mains water. All the water we use is rainwater harvested from various rooftops. So this is our composting area. As you can see, we've got quite large bays. So we've got this year's compost, we've got year-old compost, and then we've got 2-year-old compost. So we get some quite good material from that. And then we've also got huge leaf piles. Again, 3 years worth of leaf mould, and it's really good. We can mulch all our borders in the garden with what we produce on site. Obviously lots of trees around, and we spend a lot of time collecting leaves, but it does create some pretty good leaf mould. So look, it's all lovely and rotted down, and that'll still have another year to rot down, and it'll go on the soil as mulch next year. Even though we're quite a small garden, you can go into 5 or 6 different areas and hopefully get a different feel in each one, and then you can even walk down by the river and get kind of a countryside feel as well. So hopefully we can, even in a small space, offer quite a lot of different kind of places to visit.
If you want to find out more about visiting East Riddlesden Hall, head over to the National Trust website. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to Horticulture magazine for more videos like this one. Thanks for watching.